DeVries has an overall career record of 120 and 55, and his 6 seasons as head coach at arenas like this one. He led Drake University to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, making it to the first round in 2023 and 2024.
While Small ranked 9th in rebounding and 10th in minutes played, it was his free throw shooting that got people's attention. He ranked 4th among all Big 12 players last season.
These climbers are dealing with some seriously tough walls. You can see the grit and focus on their faces. One slip, and it's back to the mats. But for them, it's all part of the thrill.
It's Wilson's experience behind the camera with ESPN Plus that led him to the opportunity to be on screen. The university says he is the first WVU student to be a color commentator at an official WVU athletic event.
On first team was Sergio Ors-Navarro, Max Broughton, and Ryan Baer. And on second team, Marcus Caldera and Mark Bonaire.
Coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Brian McQuillan, and I'll tell you about a club team that is getting ready to knock their expectations out of the ballpark.
They added 6 transfers and 2 freshmen. Of the 13 total players, 3 of them are international students.
It's not often WVU students get to take this seat. I'm Patrick Walsh, and after the break on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll tell you about the Mountaineer who's making history. In a statement from the university, Athletic Director Ren Baker said while the athletic staff is focused on preparing the team for their upcoming bowl game,
Miller joined WVU's women's hockey team in their inaugural season. After graduation, she traded in her stick for a whistle and joined the team's coaching staff.
After the break, I'm Andrew Freed, and I'll tell you all about the Boulder Bash event here at the Rec Center.
Let's begin with 3 players you should add to your team. Tight end Mike Gesicki has been heating up with the Cincinnati Bengals. He scored 27 points last week against the Raiders. Whenever T. Higgins has been sidelined, Gesicki becomes the second option. Who they think gonna stop Gesicki the rest of the season?
It's time for our injury report. Staying with the Bucks, Evans and Godwin went down with leg injuries. Evans is said to be out through the Buccaneers' Week 11 bye, and Godwin's season is expected to be over after dislocating his ankle. However, it has been an especially bad week to be a quarterback. Deshaun Watson's season has ended after rupturing his Achilles. Jaden Daniels is considered week to week after a rib injury. And finally, Andy Dalton is listed as out after injuring his thumb in a car crash on Tuesday. Thankfully, everyone appears to be safe.
Finally, here's our picks for this week's Thanksgiving matchups. First, the Lions will defend their den against the Bears. Expect Detroit's D to shut down a struggling Chicago offense. Next, my Cowboys host the Giants in Jerry World. It won't be pretty, but them boys should get the job done. Finally, the Dolphins travel to Green Bay, where the Packers will freeze them out and send them home with a cold plate to end Thanksgiving.
Last season, WVU's club softball team punched its ticket to the Club Softball World Series for the first time in program history.
We would love to make it to the regional tournament again because that was a really cool experience for us.
WVU was a varsity softball team from 1976 to 1982, and in that time had an overall record of 101 and 58. But after just 5 years, the program was cut to fund other sports. Current president Elena Krause said their club status creates some challenges.
Difficult getting accessibility to certain things, like even our field space for our series. Like this past weekend, we had trouble getting a field for our games.
WVU is one of 5 Big 12 schools that do not currently field a Division I program. That list includes Cincinnati, Colorado, Kansas State, and TCU. In order for the club team to become an official varsity sport here in West Virginia, they would have to improve facilities like this one. However, that could cost the department an 8-figure deal. WVU Athletic Director Ren Baker told Tony Caridi on the podcast 3 Guys Before the Game the university cannot afford to create a new D1 program right now. Pitcher Riley Morgan says making it an official Division I program could benefit the entire university.
I think that it would be such a good thing for the school because it would open a lot more people. I know there's girls that only pick schools because they want to play softball.
Morgan says the team's goal is to get back to the Club World Series this year. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Brian McQuillan.
Sydney Pickram is a 3-time Olympic qualifier for Team Canada. Born in Dunedin, Florida, Pickram is a dual citizen of the United States and Canada.
I got my citizenship and I started to qualify for teams probably a lot earlier in Canada than the US, and that was just like my natural progression.
During her collegiate career, Pickram won Texas A&M Athlete of the Year twice. She also was a conference champion in 8 races. At the Tokyo Games, Pickram took home a bronze medal for Team Canada.
Pickram earned her latest piece of hardware at the World Aquatic Championships in Doha in February. 8 months later, Pickram finds herself in Morgantown with the goal of helping the next generation of swimmers find that same success.
After the 2024 Olympics, Pickram was unsure of her future. She was contemplating retirement before a familiar friend reached out to her and put the Mountaineer program on her radar.
I decided I wanted to keep swimming, and I was like, well, I want to swim for either you or Jason, who are continuing on to coaching. And so he had said, well, like, why don't you do both at West Virginia?
Senior Morgan Burton believes hiring a coach with championship level experience was perfect for the program.
So it's definitely like more detailed instruction, and it's just always fun to get in the water with an Olympian, and you could just tell she loves what she does.
Burton earned silver in the Big 12 championship 2 years ago and believes Pickram can help her return to form this season.
About 40 minutes up I-79 from Morgantown, the Mariana Field and Stream Sporting Deer Rifle Shoot takes place once a year. 16-year-old Gunnar Wass says it's not his first time shooting a rifle, but it was his first time participating in the competition.
Just the people here. It's always nice. Everyone's a good sport. Even though you're competing against each other, they'll help you out if you need it. They'll give you tips and pointers, just whatever you need.
For 12 years now, the community has set aside their responsibilities for a day to have fun at this friendly competition. Participants shoot at these targets, aiming for the small zone worth 10 points, followed by the larger zones worth 9 and 8 points, and everywhere else on the deer is 5 points. Scores are collected after each round and tallied up for a total at the end of the day, and the organizers say participation is only growing.
It's grown a little bit every year. I mean, I think last year we had 52, 54 shooters. We're probably looking for that many this year.
Participants ranged in age from as young as 11 up to their 50s and 60s.